Wait, we'll sort. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the organizational meeting of the Northampton County Board of Commissioners to order. My name is Scott McKellar. I'm the county attorney. Pursuant and in accordance with this board's adopted rules of procedure, at the start of every first meeting in December, the board conducts an organizational meeting where the officers are elected and some other business matters like the next year's calendar and holiday schedule are adopted. So if there are no questions at this time, I will entertain a motion for chair of the Northampton County Board of Commissioners for the next calendar year.
I make a motion to elect again as our chair, Chairman Tyner.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Buffalo, second by Commissioner Boone. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, let it be known by the usual sign aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
I Boone.
Any opposition? None heard. Motion carries. Congratulations, Chairman Tyner. Next, I will entertain a motion for vice chair of the Northampton County Board of Commissioners.
Board members, we note tonight that our vice chair has been for the last year is hospitalized, and she's not able to be with us tonight. I am asking you to support me as I recommend her as vice chair of this Northampton County Board of Commissioners.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Buffalo. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Boone. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, let it be known by the usual sign aye.
Aye.
Buffalo.
I Boone.
I turn.
Motion is unanimous, and Commissioner Faulkner is our vice chair. At this time, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Chairman Tyner.
Thank you. Board members, at this time, we need to note that we need to elect appoint, of course, our attorney for this year. And I'm happy tonight to recommend that we keep our attorney, Mr. McKellar, Attorney McKellar, as our attorney.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and properly second that we would keep Scott McKellar as our attorney. Then the questions and discussion. If not, all in favor, let known by usual sign aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
I Boone.
Ayes have it. Motion is carried. And now we shall move down to our meeting and calendar, holiday calendar. You have that before you. This is the proposed dates of our meetings for 22. You see anything in there and those dates that need to be changed, please let us know. If not, board members, I would accept a motion from you to accept this as our regular meeting schedule.
Yes, so moved, Chair.
Second, Buffalo.
It moved and properly second that we would keep the schedule that's given to us in our book. Are there any questions in the discussion? If not, all in favor, let known by usual sign aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
I Boone.
Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Thank you so much. This is the organization for next year. Do note that we had already made the appointment for our board clerk. Our board clerk is interim was Barbara Williams. And I hate to report again tonight that Barbara Williams, who is our clerk, is ill. Likewise, our prayers for her and Geneva tonight. Acting in her place is Itia Robinson is just acting intern in her place. Thank you, Itia, for acting in her place. we're hoping for her to have a speedy recovery. At this time, we shall move forward with our meeting. I'd like to call our meeting to order. And calling our meeting to order, we note that there's much to be prayed for and much to be thankful for. And we're going to ask you at this time to join us in a moment of silence. Thank you so much. At this time, we live in America. We're glad to live in America, free in America, to do things that others cannot do. At this time, we ask all of you who would to please stand. And on my right is our flag. Please repeat. Pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Let me thank all of you for coming and joining us tonight. We're glad that you're here, glad that you'll be a part of us. We're glad we're able to come out and join again in our meetings, and we certainly welcome all of you to our meeting. We want you to know that if you have any comments during the comment session that you would like to make, on my right, the clerk to the board, the interim clerk is, will take that information, and at that time, at the due time, we'll have you to come and to speak before this board. If there are those who desire to do that, those forms, I believe, are on the table, and please give them to our clerk. This is a meeting of the Northampton County Board of Commissioners on this December 6, 2021. And this Board of Commissioners meeting is about taking care of the business of Northampton County, taking care of the business for Northampton County. Board members, thank you again tonight for coming, and Jerry, for your participation in our agenda. We do appreciate you, appreciate all the hard work that you're doing. Behind me is our mission statement, which serves for us the reason that we're here. We're not here for any other reason than to take care of our public, to take care of our citizens, to take care of people in our community. And that's what we plan to do. And we plan to be a service to our people. So our mission statement is there. I dare not read it. You can see it. But along with a mission statement, you always got to have a vision statement, where you're going, what it is that you desire to do. And of course, behind me is our vision statement. We ask that you would please look at that, because what we want to do, we want to be excellent in everything that we do. We want to do it to the highest level, and the highest level is all that's expected of us, and that's what we shall do. So at this time, we note that we have the approval of the agenda for December 6th, 2021. Board members, you had a copy of this delivered to you, and we want to note, are there any changes that you want to make to the agenda? I do apologize to you all that there were some things that we had on the agenda that we had taken off. When we sent it to you on Friday, we had to take off because we weren't prepared. So I want you to know tonight on the table is the official agenda. Board members, do you have anything to add to the agenda? Are there any things that you want to delete from the agenda? If not, board members, I ask at this time what's your pleasure for the agenda?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Edwards, second by Ms. Boone, that we would approve the agenda as given. Are there any questions, any discussion? If not, all in favor, then don't by you just saying aye.
I,
Aye.
Buffalo.
I, Boone.
As have it, motion is carried. Conflict of interest in accordance with the rules of procedures adopted by the board in section 153A44 of the North Carolina General Statute. It is the duty of every member present to vote on all matters coming before the board, unless there is a conflict of interest as determined by the board or by law. Does any board member have any conflict of interest with respect to any agenda item come before the board today? If so, please identify the conflict and the board will consider the matter. At this time, Ms. Buffalo,
No conflict.
Mr. Edwards,
No conflict.
Ms. Boone,
No conflict.
no conflict. There are no conflicts, then we shall move forward with the agenda. The first thing that we have tonight is the funding needs of Northampton County. We were blessed this year, like any other year in the history of Northampton County, to receive state funding. That state funding didn't come by osmosis. It came because we sat down and we worked hard. We worked hard with our representative, Michael Ray. We worked hard with our representatives in Washington, DC. And tonight we have with us the person whom we worked so hard with to come to give us information, tell us what it is that we are going to receive in Northampton County. In Northampton County, we have received perhaps more money than any other counties in this whole area because of the efforts of all of us working together. We have worked hard to do this. We've been to Raleigh. We've been to legislature building. We've been in committee meetings. And we got letters from the courts. We've gotten letters from the inspectors. We did everything we needed to do to make sure that we would receive the fundings that we have. So at this time, I'm going to ask our representative, Michael Ray, if he would come and talk about the funding the needs of Northampton County.
Good evening to everyone, Mr. Chairman,
evening.
county commissioners, and citizens. It's a good thing to see the citizens here. This is what democracy is about. I bring you greetings from the North Carolina General Assembly. I'm honored and privileged to have not my wife, but my sister. And she's traveling with me tonight. And, throughout the journey, in life, the good Lord and your family is very important. Politics is you can make a difference, or anyone can make a difference in your communities, in your churches, in your civic organizations, or wherever you're at. Well, as farming, working together works. But at the end of the day, it's like a chicken crossing the road. He runs across it 100 times, and the 101st time he gets run over, it's all people remember. So it's been a blessing for me this year to have my sister working with me as a research assistant and actually seeing what it takes and the hard work that we do for the constituents and the citizens across the state of North Carolina. I mean, we've had people to cry. We've had people to say a few bad words, but we've had a lot of joyful things. This COVID has been a very unique situation, a pandemic here in America, in the United States. And, it was unique in Roanoke Rapids. They had the 100th anniversary of the high school, and they opened up the time capsule 100 years ago. It was a pandemic that went on at that particular time. So it's pretty unique how that is. But again, it's great to have her here with me tonight. And, just basically, just wanted to kind of give you a roadmap. Don't want to take much of the people's time, but I just want to tell you, we hadn't had a budget in a few years. And so we're very blessed to have a budget this year. And it takes everybody working across the state and across party lines and working together works. I'm honored and privileged to say that I was one of the 9 Democrats to reach across the aisle to the Republican leadership on the House side. 4 senators on the Senate side. The fiscal year starts July the 1st, and we got a budget a couple of weeks ago. But again, we had a lot of money that needed to be spent, but also we had a lot of needs to need to be met in capital improvements, our teachers, our state employees, our retirees. Again, we shouldn't leave any man or woman behind. Education equals economic development and all of the good things. But just kind of carry you down the roadmap where I want to talk about some things that's positive for the district, especially here in Northampton County. When we're elected for 2-year terms, and we have the long session and the short session. So we started our journey in January, and here it is December, and we're still in session. So we always sent out snail mail, kind of sort of now, and we sent out some emails to our local county commissioners and our local municipalities throughout our district. And we ask you what your needs are and what can we do to help you. And you'll really be surprised the people that we hear from and don't hear from. So it's no disrespect to anybody throughout our county or, state of North Carolina. So one of the positive things is, Northampton County came to me early on about the courthouse. And everyone knows the courthouse has been I'm not going to be disrespectful to the county commissioners, but basically it's been a very hot button in our community about the price of the land. And it has been a very hot button about the history of Northampton County and the historical value of our historical landmark, our courthouse. So we've had conversations, Chairman Tyne and I, we've had conversations about how important it is that we need to definitely have public safety issues. We need to have a safe courthouse for our safety of our citizens, the jurors, and also for for the community. But also, I really want to stress it was an honor and privilege to get $14 million for the courthouse, and so basically you all had optioned some land, and you all had Oakland Collier to do your footprint of what you wanted to do. So I had a footprint to be able to go logistically ask for some money. So again, our Speaker of the House, Tim Moore, is a very honorable man. He got $52 million for Cleveland County, his county courthouse in his community. We got Garland Pierce and some other members from down towards Scotland County. They got $31 million for a courthouse. But basically how like Garland and I talked about it, he said, look, my county commissioners came up here and sat down with a group of us and said, what do you want? What do you need? And so that's how the process went. So it's nothing shady, nothing there. But, basically this 14 million, I'm proud to say that it does come from the taxpayers across all of North Carolina, and it will trickle back down to our communities where the property will be paid for in this, and also the courthouse we paid. But also at the same time, we've had discussions, the leadership and I've had discussions. Make sure that when, the courthouse is built, make sure you really do the proper thing, preservation of our historical courthouse here. And all American history is important. And we've talked about the judges and individuals, about the pictures of taken down in the courthouse and preserve those. And so, please be, we want to make sure we keep, the courthouse, because it is a footprint of our community. So basically $14 million, which is a lot of money, which is going to take care of our courthouse, which you will give you all, which basically affects us, which are taxpaying citizens here in Northampton County. So you won't have to borrow the money from USDA. So the train had left the station on the budget. So the governor presents his budget. The Senate had the budget first. They sent it to the House. We sent it back. We got conferees. I was very blessed to be one of the 9 conferees on the Democratic side, and I was one of the chief lead ones negotiating. So basically, after the train had left the station on the budget, I got a request from the town of Seaboard for their wastewater water project, sewer project. Everybody knows that we have West Fraser, which is a very big foothold. We know that Seaboard has had issues with the water problems and the sewer. And so basically, after the train had left the station, I requested $8.5 million, and I got $4 million of the $8.5 million. But one good thing about it is the local municipalities, which I'll come down, they have an opportunity to be able to apply for matching grants or other funding. So the town of Conway, I was able to put some money in there for the Main Street program for revitalization of the community. So the business owners or the community can try to do things. We've had communities I've helped in the past have done welcome to Conway or welcome to, whatever. They have tried to, that'll help, help that community tremendously. And also with what's going on in Jackson here in the downtown, we have a beautiful little county seat. My nephew, they had a Christmas ornament party about 2-3 weeks ago. And I went to Baysire. We're very blessed to have a good, nice restaurant here in that community. And I was looking across while I was sitting there, looking at the, Future Pharmacy and the Chamber of Commerce and Wayne's, small business people and, some of the footprints that they can do, like soffits, the fronts or the painting or something. But that will have to be determined by, the town of Jackson and their town council. So we put that in the budget. So the town of Rich Square, they've had flood issues for a long time around behind First Baptist Church. But if anybody comes through on a rainy day, you go through that intersection right there where the bank building is torn down and the pizza place had, burned down and they tore that down. And you walk in, when you ride through there, those covenants have collapsed and it floods that area like it does the town of Enfield. So we were able to get Enfield some too, but that's Halifax County. But that's some of the stuff that we're working with DOT. And one of the things, the city of Roanoke Rapids sent their thermal imaging machine that goes down into the pipes to see where the pipes have collapsed. So DOT is going to be cooperating with that project. So that's major. But, and then another thing, the Severn Volunteer Fire Department, a fire truck, $350,000. I'm going to tell you how that happens. We're very blessed. I kind of want to talk to you all, but I also want to talk to the citizens. And I hope but I want you to know the town of Severn and Hampton Farms and Severn Peanut Company, Maharan Chemical, they're a jewel in our community. I mean, they are in every major league ballpark, sporting events, we're very blessed to have them. They had a major fire a few years ago. We have extended the natural gas line from Conway to Resinol and to what they're doing in Severn. And also they built a new facility there to preserve the peanuts. But my kid one of them works down at Maharan, and they were talking, there's a gentleman there, his name is LT, and he was talking about how Severn struggles with fundraisers for their local fire department. And that's something that I would ask you, Mr. Chairman, and the county commissioners. I'd like for you all to look at fire tax districts for a lot of our communities. You look at what's happening in Gaston, they have $1 million facility. We're very blessed to have them. You want them to come. But, the communities down in eastern end of the county, they're struggling. They need some help. So that's something that I would hope that the fire association could sit down with someone and try to look at that and kind of look at some options there. Of course, it affects the landowners. But again, when you call somebody with heart attack, seconds matter, your home is burning, your family members are there. But basically, I asked my kid, I said, well, I asked LT what kind of money it's going to cost. So the budget had already left the station. So I put $350,000 in there. And so we were able to get that. And then one of the things, Odom Prison and Terrell County and Scotland County had 3 prison facilities. They were minimum securities and they were going to close them. And Commissioner Tyner reached out to me, Franklin Williams, the economic developer. And I think it was, we met at the General Assembly. You all asked me to request a meeting and Sheriff Jack Smith came. And you all were saying, hey, what are they going to do with Odom? And they said, we don't know what we're going to do. Right now we're downsizing. We're down a bunch of employees and we're going to look at what we're going to do. And you all said, hey, if we do this, if you shut it down, Northampton County wants to have an opportunity to receive that. So that's how that's come about. And so kick the can down the road, further down, basically they decided to close it. And so for $1, 64 acres, the prison facility, the wastewater facility, which will be able to expand, in that part of that community, and working with the sheriff's department and Sheriff Jack Smith, looking at doing a juvenile detention facility, which will be a income producing and also an asset for us in our community. And so that's kind of how that came about. Just want to give everybody full disclosure. That's how that came about. And also we were able to, I called Brett Lubbock at Sylvan Heights, and I was talking to him about what, we have a world-renowned waterfowl park right across on 258, right in Scotland Neck, and a lot of our citizens are able right down the Roanoke River. And I called Brett and I said, Brett, what do you need? And he said, well, we get some matching fund through the state. And he said, see if you can double it up because of the COVID money, which money had built up. They hadn't had things in the budget. So we did that. And he said, well, look, the Roanoke River is a big asset. And I said, well, yeah, we got a boat landing that we're getting built by the Wildlife Resource Commission. And it's similar to one in Cleveland County, about $2.1 million for a shooting range where citizens can go practice. You have rules and regulations, but also we're very blessed to have the boat landing, which is almost in the finished process. Reason it's not finished is because of last year they flooded the river and it pushed out into embankments, and they could not, actually do what they need to do. And of course, everybody knows how historically the rockfish, spawning. So, but basically they're in the short rows. So Brett said, look, we need to look at utilizing on the Roanoke River. And I said, well, we got the Gaston boat landing renovated. We've got the Weldon boat landing renovated. We're getting ready to get a launch and retrieval slide there at the rapids to people who put kayaks, canoes, take them in and out. And I said, we're going to do one at historical Halifax. And I said, then we got the boat landing in Odom, and then we got the one in Scotland Neck. And he said, well, we need to look at doing a Blue Way. I said, Blue Way? What the heck's a Blue Way? And so he said, it's looking at getting it put on the state park system. So that's how things happen. So we were able to get from the Roanoke Rapids Dam to the Albemarle Sound along the 5 counties along the Roanoke River, designated as a state park, which is called a Blue Way now, which is called paddle trails, which will be a great resource when people that go up and down our river. Got $1,025,000 for that. That's the Dan River and the Roanoke River. So that's some money that will be coming to Northampton County to promote the river situation. One thing, I can stay up here all night. We got $1 billion for broadband, and everybody knows it can't get here quick enough, especially with COVID. Everybody knows that our children were forced to work from home. Our students in college, our people were having to work from home. We're trying to get as fast as we can. But basically we got $1 billion in the budget for broadband expansion. And we've been very blessed to have Roanoke Electric to be good partners, because I'm going to tell you, CenturyLink has not been a good a partner as they could have been. I have hammered on CenturyLink and hammered on CenturyLink because it's like anything else. They want to get the people that's going to service a lot of people. But Northeast Academy, those children down there, they wanted them to pay $75,000 for a switch, and that's unacceptable. So they're working with the town of Alaska to expand broadband in that community. But we're losing a true champion, Curtis Wynn, and I wish him the best of luck in his endeavors going back to Florida. And one of the things also, we have parks and recreation grants. That's one thing. And also we have water and sewer infrastructure grants. So we really, really, really need to stress to our local municipalities to look at their needs, and also to look at working with our local COG and grants to apply for the infrastructure needs, because we have the Roanoke Rapids Sanitary District up around the Garysburg, Gaston area, but around the eastern end of the county, they have a lot of their own, like Rich Square has had a lot of problems with their facility. Seaboard's got theirs, Jackson has theirs, but that's something they need to apply for. But again, parks and recreation, we have our senior citizen, the building here is nice across the road. It's been an asset to our community, but again, people live at Lake Gaston, people live at the eastern end of the county, but if we can put parks and apply for that funding, it's there. But I talked to Ronnie Keeter on the way down here, and Ronnie is our state engineer for the state of North Carolina and DOT. And he lives in Halifax County, and he's from Division 4, but he is the state engineer. And we're very blessed to have him in position, because people like Ronnie have helped us help ourselves. For example, the Roanoke River from the Gaston to the Roanoke Rapids on Highway 48, that bridge is about 60 years old. It's not going to collapse, but it needs to be replaced. And so we were able to supersede that project. And so basically 2024, give or take, they're going to build a new bridge for $32 million, and between federal dollars and state money, we're going to be able to build that new bridge because of all those people that go back and forth and log trucks to go back and forth and school buses and individuals. So that's definitely going to be it's going to be a little burden, but they're going to keep the bridge open, build the road, and then tear the bridge down. Highway 46 from the stoplight in Gaston to the Virginia line going towards Lake Gaston. That contract is going to be led in 2024. And the 158 completion, give you a little brief on that. In 2005, when Senator Holloman and I, when the General Assembly together, and of course he passed away, we asked them, they said it would be 40 years out and expand in 158. We asked them to come to Northampton County or look at coming to Northampton County because of the rockfish and the spawning where it would put them way back. So you think about 2005 to 2019, they finally bidded that project out, and that's $82 million. Yes, it's aggravating with everything going on, but we're very blessed to continue to have the John B. Sanfilippo facility to be bought by Hampton Farms. We're very blessed to be able to bypass the railroad track where Amtrak runs up and down that corridor. And also we have over 400 rail cars of orange juice go up and down, going from Florida up north. And then also, instead of that bridge down on Highway 301, where the trucks used to peel the tops back off because of the height, they're going to be able to bypass and go over 301 and swing around. And so that project is supposed to be complete in 2024. That's about an $82 million project. And also in Highway 305 from Seaboard to the Hertford County line. And in 2022, the right-of-ways will be purchased and worked on. In 2024, that will be done. That's a $52 million project. But again, thank you. And one thing, also another thing, I had Patrick Valentine come to me to talk about a program that he had worked on, a pilot program in Halifax County with the school systems. And he came to me and I went to the leadership and we got $2.5 million to establish a program entitled Failure Free Reading to support middle school students in authorized public schools who read below grade level. The program will use rigorous data assessment of student access to support middle school students. And so Conway Middle School falls on that. So basically, local public school superintendents may apply for a portion of the funds at a rate of $250 per student. So we're doing a lot of good things. We can't do it by ourselves, like Ed Jones, the late state senator, like the turtle on the fence post. And I think our famous Mayor Melvin Broad actually should say that from Seaboard. The turtle didn't get on the fence post by itself. He can't get down by itself. But I appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight. We're accessible to help you all, help our citizens. If you have any concerns, please call us, help us any way we can. We're not perfect. We don't know everything, but we have a heck of a constituent services. With the HIPAA law, you can't discuss a lot of things, but you'll be surprised the people that we help that we don't go out and put it on Facebook and all this because of the HIPAA law. But again, thank you, commissioners. Thank you, citizens, for being here tonight. This is what democracy is about. Individuals coming and participating. And thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, county commissioners, for what you do. And so, again, just wanted to let the citizens know and what we've got coming up here. And our state employees are getting a raise. Our teachers are getting a well-deserved raise. Our retirees are getting a bonus. And that's a big thing for our community. So a lot of money is going to be influxed into our communities. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Board members, if you got any questions you need to ask me any further. Thank you for coming and sharing with us.
Thank you.
We really do. And to the public, I want you to know that just this day, Representative Ray had me connected with, who was it? Talk to
Nelson Dollar.
Nelson Dollar. I want to ask Nelson Dollar, he's from Raleigh. He said, ask him when we're going to get our $14 million. Need to know when we're going to get it. And we got good news from him. They're working on it. They're going to provide those funds for us in a few days. And all we got to do is just wait because it's coming in the mail.
And
So thank you. Thank you.
And the keys will be presented to Sheriff Jack Smith in Northampton County on Wednesday morning by the Department of Public Safety.
Okay, Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning.
Okay.
And one thing about working together works. Sheriff Smith called me one day and said they were taking the generator out. And I made a phone call and
Put it back.
they put it back.
That's right.
You know, they were supposed to leave in a better position. So again, thank you, commissioners. Thank you for what you do. Thank you. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Cause of that, let's go to 6, exercise the option of purchase courthouse property. Attorney Scott McKellar.
Excuse me. Thank you, Chairman Tyner. Board members, you will see it as a separate handout that I handed up. Before the board's for your consideration tonight is a proposed resolution authorizing exercise of option to purchase. To remind you all and the citizens present, in February of this year, the board entered into an option to purchase agreement with Lewis Bull Hill Properties LLC for the purchase of approximately 10 acres off of Jefferson Street in Jackson. The purpose of that, as we all know now, is for the construction of the new courthouse facility. Now that the budget's been approved and we have confirmation of the 14 million of incoming dollars, it's the board wishes to proceed with the exercise of that option. And so just to confirm the final purchase price after deducting the initial option payment of $10,000 and a separate subsequent negotiation to reduce the overall purchase price by $30,000. The final purchase price is $621,050. Again, $621,050. So the proposed resolution before you authorizes the exercise of that option so the sale can be closed and finalized. The associated appropriation from the fund balance to pay the purchase price, which will then be reimbursed when the monies come in from Raleigh. And then the resolution authorizes the interim county manager to execute all necessary documents to effectuate the exercise of the option and the closing of the sale. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Board members, you got any questions? You need to ask our attorney.
No question?
No question.
No question.
Could I have a motion from you then on that we have our attorney and your interim county manager to exercise the option to purchase the property?
Chairman Todd, I make a motion that we execute all necessary documents to purchase the property as presented in our option to purchase resolution by Attorney McKellar.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Boone and second by Commissioner Edwards. Any questions, any discussion? If not, all in favor, let it know by you, just sign aye.
Aye.
Buffalo.
I Boone.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much. As we move right along. At this time, we have Grant, summary, Franklin D. Williams, economic development.
Our Board of Commissioners and to general public, we'd like to say good evening.
Good evening.
We've been tasked with presenting various nonprofit organizations that applied for funding. And we had 7 applications, all 7 of them were qualified and vetted. And the following list is how we believe that this line item should be distributed. The Gettysburg Volunteer Fire Department, we ask that they be approved for a grant of $3,500. Rich Square Creasy Community Help, that is a senior organization that helps seniors to getting them nutritious food, especially those who are bedridden, cannot get out, cannot do for themselves. They are 501c3, an amount of $2,500. The Lake Gaston Community Center, an award of $3,500. Community Senior Enhancement Program that is in Severn, North Carolina. We ask that they be granted $3,500. Taking Time to Care is a wonderful initiative in the Gaston area by Reverend Tony Flood and Gaston Baptist Church. They formed a 501c3, deals with after-school care and academic care for students. And we ask that they be granted $3,500. Of course, Hannah's Place, which deals with providing shelter and services to those who are in need due to no fault of their own. We ask that they be granted $2,000. And Hertford Northampton Smart Start, they serve children in Northampton and Hertford County. And we ask that they be granted $1,500. And that will expend the line item of $20,000.
Board members, you've heard the recommendation coming from the Economic Development. He and his committees work hard with all these organizations. I want the public to know these are 501(c) certified organizations who operates in our county. In Northampton County, we understand that we can't do it all. It takes the entire community working to do things that we need to get done. And we appreciate all the nonprofits that we have in Northampton County. And I want to say to you, looking at this list, am I right, Ms. Williams? These are all who had requested funds from our nonprofit.
That is correct.
So we were able to give everybody a little bit, not all what they asked for, but we were able to give them a small amount. Some of these places were not in our county, but they do serve citizens in our county. And we had the information coming from those organizations to certify how many people they serve. You see it on your list. One of them said they have served 14 families. Another said they served 10 children in the Hertford Northampton County Smart Start. These are the recommendations coming from Mr. Williams and his people who's working in his department. Are there any questions, the discussion? If not, I entertain a motion that we will award these funds at our January meeting. Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir.
We ask these organizations please show up, and we would want them to know how much we appreciate them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if the board approves. Well, what is your recommendation?
Chairman, I move approval.
Thank you.
Second Buffalo.
A motion made by Mr. Elbert, second by Ms. Buffalo, Commissioner Buffalo. Are there any questions in the discussion? If not, all in favor, the known by usual sign aye.
Aye.
I Buffalo.
I Boone.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Williams. Next thing on our agenda is our life pack. I don't even like it. Don't like it, but we gotta hear it. Okay.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, Board of Commissioners and citizens, back in November timeframe, our usual maintenance of our cardiac monitors was performed, and we were informed by the manufacturer that 8 out of the 10 cardiac monitors that our EMS uses, the software inside is going to become unsupported in September of 2022. And they do have a program in place where if we make a decision to replace these monitors, that you can trade in the existing monitors and they will give you half the price, which will save the county in the long run of approximately $186,000. We do make a decision to replace them now. We just have to make the decision now. Probably the purchase will not have to be made until April. But they have to know now that's when the program expires. These particular monitors were purchased in 2010, and usually they only support it for about 8 years. So they should have been started to be phased out about 2018, but we've got a little extra use out of them. The company Stryker is the sole provider of this type of equipment. So we couldn't bid this out to anybody else because nobody else makes this type of equipment that integrates with the rest of our medical devices and the software, umbrella software that we have between all the devices. So that's where we're at. It was unexpected. I was hoping to get a couple more years of use out of them, but that's the news that we got.
Board members?
Mr. Chairman, move approval.
Okay, because we want to live, don't we?
Yes,
Yeah, we don't want no mess when you come. We don't want you telling us your equipment ain't working and I can't breathe. No, sir, we don't want that. No, sir. We'll do without a whole lot of things before we do without these machines. Board members, what is your pleasure? Ms. Ellis, you started to say something?
I said I move approval of the purchase.
second Buffalo.
With the proper second that we're gonna approve these machines that they need for EMS. Are there any questions and discussion?
Can I interject?
Yes, sir.
Just for the record and for the benefit, as Mr. Knoll noted, this is an exception to the North Carolina procurement law, excuse me. When your equipment is purchased and it's the only source of supply, you're not required to formally bid this out. So I concur with the recommendation.
All in favor? Did I say that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I've had it. Motion is carried.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Board of Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul.
We appreciate all that you're doing, Paul.
Absolutely.
Okay, at this time, we have the Recreation Advisory Board member.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners,
Good evening.
citizens. And I'd like to thank Ms. Quashibi, the Advisory Board Chair, for coming tonight. The purpose of this paper is to seek the approval for the county commissioners for Jamie Kruger as a new board member and Shirley Quashibi, Garfield Johnson, Gail Bennett, and Eunice Peterson, current board members, to serve on the Northampton County Recreation Advisory Board. Jamie Kruger is a citizen of Northampton County and lives in the Seaboard area. She is interested in getting involved with the community and wants to help provide activities for the children. She has 3 children that participates in the recreation leagues. Jamie will be replacing Ricky Morris. Shirley Quashibi, Garfield Johnson, Gail Bennett, and Eunice Peterson are current board members. They have expressed an interest to continue to serve since their terms have expired. Jamie's application and the other board members have been voted on by the Recreation Advisory Board and approved. Northampton County Recreation Advisory Board and Recreation Department recommends that the county commissioners approve Jamie Kruger as a new member and Shirley, Garfield, Gail, and Eunice to continue to serve on the Recreation Advisory Board.
Board members, do you have any questions in the discussion we need to make before a motion is made in the discussion? Any questions you need to ask?
No question.
Question, could I have a motion then that we would approve?
Chair, move approval.
Second.
Been moved and proper second, moved by Mr. Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Boone, that we would approve the new person to add to our advisory board of our recreation department. Are you ready? All in favor, let know by you, your sign aye.
Aye.
Buffalo.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for all that you do. At this time, we're gonna talk about low-income household water system program.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Chairman Tyner,
Mhm.
Board of Commissioners, Attorney McKellar, and community. Today, I stand before you to tell you about a new program that is being offered by the Northampton County Department of Social Services, as well as all Department of Social Services. It's called the Low Income Household Water Assistance Program, LEWAP. So first of all, I'll tell you a little bit about it. The Low Energy Household Water Assistance Program is a federally funded program that provides emergency assistance to low-income households to prevent the disconnection or provide assistance with reconnecting of drinking and wash water services. We have 3 priority groups. LEWAP assistance will be made available to households based on priority groups. To lessen the hardship of those households that have already lost water services or in jeopardy of losing water services, groups number 1 and 2 will be served first. If funds are available, group number 3 will be served after group numbers 1 and 2 is completed. The classifications of the groups are followed. Group number 1 consists of households that households that have had their water services turned off. Group number 2, it consists of households that are in jeopardy of having their water services turned off. And group number 3 consists of all households that have water services, but who needs assistance with paying their bills. So the application process, well, first of all, we're gonna, from December 1st through, let me make sure, from December 1st through January 3rd, groups number 1 and 2 will be served. So if your water is already turned off or is in jeopardy of being turned off, then you can call to social services. If you are receiving funds from the LEAP program, Food and Nutrition Program, or Medicaid, you are eligible for these programs. So you just need to call in and let us know. We could already approve that. If you don't receive it, you'll have to complete an application. Groups number 3, we'll begin with that group January 3rd until the funds have been depleted. So if you receive Work First, Food and Nutrition, or LEAP program, you are eligible, and all you have to do is call in and say, I need assistance with my water bill. And we can look at the computer and see if you get those services, and we will automatically pay your bill. It's a one-time shot, up to $600. So priority groups number 1 and 2, there is no limit, because we're trying to get your waters turned back on, or help you to keep from getting it turned off. Priority group number 3, we will pay up to $600. Direct payments will be paid to the vendors. We have already gone to every township that provides water in our county, and they all have signed up. We did not know about gas, and I think is divided in 2. We get water from Roanoke Rapids or something, but they have agreed to become on board as well. So everybody is covered in Northampton County. The vendors, in order to receive payment, you have already had to sign up prior to this date. We have asked Ms. Garner in order for us to spend the money, the commissioners are going to have to approve the budget, do an amendment. Ms. Garner has done a budget amendment for the commissioners to approve. So I am asking that you please approve that so that we can pay the water bills for our clients. Thank you so much. Do you have any questions?
Members, you have any questions?
No question, thank you.
I have one. Let's make this easy. Let's have our water department, when they send out the next notices of water, we can print on their water bill. Perhaps they need to check with you all to see if they're eligible for their water to be paid. That is a number 1 way of making sure that all people would receive it. That's even better than the newspaper. Everybody's gonna get the water bill.
Okay.
I will assure you that if you give us the information we need to put on their water bill, we will place that on the water bill.
Right, and we received somewhere approximately around $56,000. So once that's depleted, that'll be it. But I think we have enough that we can serve the majority of our
Got it.
citizens.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Board members, this is going to help us also. There are some people whom are behind in their water bills, and we know COVID had us to not cut some of them off because it was the law of that time. Now we've cut them back on, and we do have several of our people in the community who's asking still for some assistance with the water bill. So this just comes right on time. And now when they call us, we can tell them to check down to social services. Thank you. Thank you, Wanda, for bringing that to us. Thank you so much. Board members, any other questions you need to ask about that? If not, let's go to Everland taxes. Is that right?
Yes.
Everland taxes.
Good evening,
Hello, Ms. Mason.
Chairman Tyner and board members, citizens of Northampton County. I am before you this evening to obtain the board's approval to release or refund ad valorem taxes assessed in the amount of $12,669.40.
Board members, you have tax administrator coming before us to release $12,669.40. Board members, you have the information you need for the reasons for those refunds. Do you have any questions before we ask for a motion? If not, I'll ask at this time for a motion.
Chairman Tyner, I make a motion that we approve the request for release or refund of the ad valorem tax appeal submitted tonight by Mrs. Mason, our tax administrator.
Second.
A motion made by Commissioner Boone, and second by Commissioner Hill. Are there any questions in the discussion? Motion. If not, all in favor, let know by you sign aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Ms. Mason, go to your next one.
Yes, sir. Second item on the agenda is for 2022 property tax listing period extension. My purpose is to obtain the board's approval to extend the 2022 tax property listing period through February the 17th, 2022. It is my recommendation that the board adopt an order directing the tax administrator to conduct the 2022 listing period from January the 1st through February the 17th, 2022.
Board members, there be any?
John, move approval of 2022 proper listing period extension.
Second.
Mr. Ellison made a motion, second by Commissioner Boone. We have this extension, property listing period extended. There be no question or discussion. All in favor, the known by you, you sign aye.
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 Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Number 13. Mr. Williams, you're going to talk about the Mercy, Mercy quote that we have. Yes, for a while. For this is for Square.
One of the incentives, commissioners, that was placed upon us that was in our strategic plan was to do the best we could to rehabilitate Creasy in Ridge Square. And one of the major problems we were having in the main building is that the electricity in the boiler room is located below ground. And of course, when it's located below ground, it floods, and water and electricity, you can see how that could be a danger. So Dominion cut the electricity off, would not turn it back on until we had some electrical work done. Most of your major electrical companies are busy on projects, and they were very frank with me. We bid it out to 3 of them. They said we will have to pull people off of major jobs and to come to see that, and we would have to charge you more. So we thought we would go with small businesses, and Mr. Mercer seemed to be the best. It was myself, as well as Mr. Crossan and one of his people from the school system that we went to Creasy. We went through all of the weeds and went down there and assessed what needed to go on. We had to pump out the water that was there. It was knee deep. And finally, take a look at all of the different things that would be needed to take all, or what they would call demo, all of the things out of that room and then rewire it and turn it so that it would be in one of the main classrooms. I believe once we get the electricity on, we can address the problems of mold removal and things like that. But the demolish, to just take all of that out and get routes to rewire it that's the bid you see before you. Now, the conduit and all of that that's going to be needed, the drilling and the boring of holes into the main building that's going to be extra, and I believe it's quoted as $5,000. Am I right?
Yes.
It'll be $5,000 extra for that. Another thing that is a holdup is the supply chain. Electrical parts are sitting in the middle of the harbor, waiting to be unloaded. But of course, with supply chain problems, it's going to be a while before we can get the junction boxes and all of the other things that are necessary to begin hooking things back up. However, that's not going to be required for the demolition part and the tagging, so that wires will be routed properly. And that's the quote that you have before you.
Board members, are there any discussion?
Talked about it at the work
Is
session.
in our budget for this project?
Chairman, I move approval of the,
Okay,
to be done at Rich Square Crease.
thank you. Perhaps move the proper second, motion made by Mr. Ellis, second by Commissioner Boone, that we would move forward on this project. Any questions, any discussion? If not, all in favor, let known by usual sign aye.
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 Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. At this time, with Mr. Andy Smith, the Health Director.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Come before you tonight to ask you for your permission to enter in a contract with WellCare Health Plans. That's one of our MCOs. That's part of the Medicaid transformation. And we're starting to see more individuals in our county have this plan, and we want to make sure we're in network with them so that we can bill for them for their services and continue to see our residents as needed. It's a long contract, as you know. Mr. McKellar and I looked at it, and it's got a lot of jargon that I couldn't begin to explain to you, to be honest with you.
Board members, you've heard from and our Health Director bring to us the health plan from WellCare
Sir.
contract, so that we'll be able to service the people in our community as that plan. What is your pleasure?
Chairman, I move approval of the WellCare contract.
Thank you, Mr. Elwood.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Boone. Are there any questions in discussion? All in favor, let know by usual sign aye.
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 Have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
At this time, we shall move with our budget amendments. I don't know whether Ms. Buffalo, did you?
She's got it.
She got it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, Chairman Tyner,
Good evening.
the other board members.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We have presented budget amendment number 9 by Emergency Communications. This is presented on last meeting about the 3 towers in the county that needed repairs. That amount is $133,775, and that those funds would be moved from fund balance. Budget amendment number 10 for emergency medical services. Really, Mr. Now presented again tonight the need for the cardiac monitors. Those funds would also be moved from fund balance. And that is $186,944.32. Budget amendment number 11. Is to replace a printer, our mapping printer at the Land Records Department. That printer will be obtained through COECO, The amount is $4,979. And those funds would be moved from contingency. Don't know if you got budget amendment number 12. You don't.
No.
No.
And the members did not have that. May I present it? It's what Ms. Taylor presented from the
Yes.
Department of Social Services.
Yes.
Budget amendment number 12 references what we've heard tonight from the Department of Social Services. Is to set up the budget for the low-income household water assistance. There was $57,975, and these are federal funds that would be going toward the assistance to households. And then there's $11,219 for administrative services.
Thank you. Administrative services going to social services.
Yes, it's for administering the program.
Okay.
Yeah. But 57,975 would be for clients.
Great. Board members, any questions? About the budget amendments? Any questions? No questions?
No question.
Have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve budget amendments 9 through 12 as presented.
Second, Buffalo.
Moving properly second, motion made by Commissioner Boone, second by Commissioner Buffalo, that we would approve the budget amendments as given. Are there any questions in discussion? All in favor, let know by usual sign aye.
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 Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We shall continue. We have citizens' comments.
Yes.
It's my honor tonight to present to you all the superintendent of Northampton County, Dale Burns. Mr. Burns, if you will come forward at this time, I want you to know that I've been knowing him for some time. We worked together in Wake County, and he hadn't completely forgotten about me. And I want to welcome you to the best place in the world. The best place in the world is Northampton County. Mr. Dr. Burns.
Chairman Tyner, Commissioners, Representative Ray, members of the school board, citizens of Northampton County. I'm Dale Burns. I will be serving as interim superintendent for the Northampton County Schools for a period of time. I've been here a very short while, and already, Mr. Chairman, I have found your statement to be true. This is a fine place. I've been very impressed and very honored by the employees that I have met with. And primarily I have met with employees in the 2 days that I've been here. And I find them to be very focused, very diligent, very professional, and single-minded on student achievement, focused on the students, the scholars of this district. I have met with all of the principals that Friday. We had good conversation. I met with all of the central office staff Friday as well. And in between, I met with individuals. To the person, I have found them deeply committed to Northampton County Schools, which speaks highly of this place as a great place for students. There's much work to do, and I am certainly about that work and willing to do so in partnership with the Board of Education and with you. I do look forward to that. There are some bridges to cross, and certainly I am willing to make that step and to cross. I'm looking forward to spending time with you and answering your questions to the best of my ability. I have much to learn. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to let David Crossan, our wonderful maintenance director, put me in his truck and take me all over the county to go visit every school. I figure that's a faster way to do it than me trying to use a GPS and Google Maps. Mr. Crossland will be able to help me get where I need to be quickly. And I will continue to do everything I can to be visible with the staff and in the community. So, Mr. Chairman, I don't know if it's appropriate, but I would be happy if it's appropriate to respond to any questions folks might have at this time.
Well, you haven't been here long enough. We'll have something for you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So noted, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We have Mr. Sykes, Walter M. Sykes Jr. Good evening.
Got several different topics. Great concern. As you can see, I'll start with this to show you. See, I'm not on Facebook. I received a number of calls last week that I guess I need to address this to Scott, as far as what the conditions are, as far as county employees on Facebook during business hours. There was a situation last week where there were a number of things posted. And in looking back under the conditions of employment for the county, it says, under political activities, every county employee has a civic responsibility to support good government by every available means and in every appropriate manner. Skipping on down, it says, however, no county employee shall, while on duty, do the following: engage in any political or partisan activity. So my question directly to you, Scott, is this: if we have a department head that's posting on Facebook, should that not be probably on their lunch break? We respond in writing about that?
Yes.
Yes, as the board's adopted procedures, you will receive a subsequent response. Mr. Sykes, thank you.
The second thing is even more troubling than that is 3 weeks ago, I received a letter. I shared that with the county attorney last week, and I shared it with one of the board members. I got it on a Saturday. It's been very alarming. And basically, it was written by a co-worker here in the county government that felt one of their co-workers had been mistreated. It basically told me the person was told to take some time off. While they were off, they basically found out that they were no longer head of that department and told to transfer to another job. The person that was affected didn't write me, someone else in county government. I will be straight direct with you, interim county manager. I think it's a dangerous thing when the chairperson is also the interim county manager. I would encourage you, you've got a qualified man there, and certainly that's not the only man in North Carolina that can do this job. I would encourage you in a short period of time to give up the interim county manager. I just think it's a dangerous situation. I'll give you an example about our human resource department. I called as far as get a salary grade. Did not get it. I got the salary amount reaching out to Mr. McKellar, but I called on 2 occasions. And basically just a simple question: what is the salary grade of this employee? No response. So you definitely got some problems in human resources. I mean, you look at the postings and you got jobs everywhere. People come and go. They take the job and then they leave in 30 days, 60 days. I don't know what's causing all that. I got some ideas, but I can't say exactly what it is. So I think you need to have a function human resource department. And I don't think that involves handpicking who you want in a job or creating a parachute for someone to give them a job. And my final thing on that topic is, I want to be sure is a criminal background check done on every employee. And even more troubling, when you see a job posted a certain dollar amount, and I see an employee, a new employee is basically making more money than some department heads, essentially $9,000 more than what a beginning school teacher would make. That's kind of troubling. The reason it's troubling is it's involving our tax dollars. It's very troubling. So I think it's a true democracy involves a lot of working parts, and you've got to want it. And I think power, real candidly, is a dangerous thing. Ms. Buffalo, you and I had a conversation right after the primary. I don't know whether you remember. As always, you're very cordial every time I talk to you. And I basically addressed the division in this county, how bad it was. That has not improved. I'm sad to say that. Yes, ma'am. So that's my request to you, to get us someone else as county manager. I just think it's a dangerous thing, Charles. I'm gonna share one final thing. Some of my closest friends know this. About 3 weeks before the primary, where you and Geneva were elected by a slim margin, but you were elected, I had what I deemed the greatest Black political leader in northeastern North Carolina call me and reached out to me and wanted to meet. So we met. And I expressed my concerns then. This was a year or two ago. About the county, the direction it was. And this county is thirsty for full ethical leadership. I'm not sitting here saying everything that you've done is wrong. I've complimented you on things that were done, complimented you on things that were done. And this leader told me, sitting across a kitchen table at the western end of Northampton County, who I'd never been in the house before. He told me something, and at age 63, and your age, Charles, you're older than me. He said, there will come a day, either the voters will decide it, or the good Lord will decide it, that Charles Tyner will not be leading Northampton County. He said, and what you need to do, and everybody in your organization, your friends, you concentrate on what you're going to do when that day comes. And unfortunately for you and I, that day is going to come probably quicker than we want it to. So like I say, I'm asking you to step down as county manager. I think it's dangerous. This is not working. When you got problems like this in human resource and other people, it's like we got a split code as far as employees, what they can do. And sometimes people will test limits of that. Any questions for me? Thank you for your time.
Any other comments?
No.
At this time, we're going to have our comments from our board members. We'll start first with you, Ms. Buffalo.
Good evening again to the citizens. Thank you for coming out this evening. Appreciate all that you do. We have food distribution today across the street for our seniors, and we had more seniors than we had food, but they'll be back again later on this month. Thank you. I just appreciate all that you're doing, and looking forward to continue my work here in Northampton County.
Okay, Commissioner Edwards.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to say good evening to everyone, and it's indeed a pleasure to see everyone here as we make the transition before we get into the holiday season. Just want to wish everyone a safe holiday season, and please be safe as this new variant is out here. Happy holidays to all, since this is our last meeting. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Want to say good evening to everyone present tonight, and it is good to see a full house. Thank you for coming, Representative Ray, tonight, and all those that have presented on tonight. Thank you. I just wanted to share with citizens again, just to back up Dr. Edwards again regarding COVID-19. I just want to share that Northampton County, we're looking good. And I just want to commend our health director and the staff for all of the work that they're doing to continuously test our citizens and to also get the vaccines out to citizens. We have a positivity rate that continues to remain less than 3%. And so that means citizens, we're doing our part. You're doing your part. whether that is you're getting vaccinated, you're getting tested, you're wearing your mask possibly, or whatever the case may be, you're following protocol. And in order for us to remain a safe county with that low positivity rate, let's just continue to do what we know is best for ourselves, our family members. Again, I also wanted to say, have a safe holiday with your families. However you spend that, however you celebrate, hold your families dear. I want to thank our interim superintendent for being here tonight. I look forward to speaking with you, getting to know you as well. And looking forward to the future of Northampton County. I've heard working together several times tonight. Working together works. I've heard working together several times tonight. I've heard division shared tonight. But the only way we can stop division is by coming together, having hard, tough conversations. So let's continue to come. If you're at odds with someone, don't take it to your neighbor, go to that person. That's one bit of advice I'd like to share tonight. You and that person one-on-one, I know that's what faith teaches me. If you have a spat or whatever, you go to that individual, you talk to that individual. Let's work together to ensure that we are achieving our mission and our vision for Northampton County. We can't do it by ourselves as commissioners. It's going to take all of us in this room working together. And it's a beautiful sight to see educators, school board members, former school board members, community members, citizens, youth, state legislator here working together tonight. Thank you. Those are my comments.
Thank you, commissioners. I want to thank the county commissioners for all that you do and all the support that you give in the county. Citizens of our county, it is my pleasure to serve as the chairman of your board and placed in a position likewise to serve as interim county manager. I want you to know that if you know of anybody who's interested in being interim county manager, all they need to do is fill out an application. Once they fill out the application, this board will consider all applications that will be sent in. The reason I'm still here is because we haven't received applications. You know of someone, please have them to fill out that application. Got to be someone who have had some experience in county government, someone who understands it. We also would like for you to know that we are doing the very best we can with what we have to work with. We're working to make sure that Northampton County move forward. The discussion has been about personnel, which I do not handle. It's personnel, that's the personnel department. I do note that when it comes to decisions that I have to make, Ms. Buffalo is always present when I have to make those decisions, because you was exactly right, Mr. Sykes. There's a fine line between the interim county manager and being chairman of the board. We recognize that. That's why we operate the way we do. So no decision that's being made is finalized by me, especially with personnel. It is always done in the presence of Ms. Buffalo and the head of those departments. They're the ones who make those decisions. Likewise, I want to say to the Board of Education, we're glad that you are here tonight. You can see that you're present. We invite you to come and join us at any time. For you know that from our budget, you get perhaps more money than anyone else. And we don't mind you coming and sharing with us at any time. We welcome the new superintendent, interim superintendent. And I also want you to know that I received a call and I was at the state board meeting when you were named the interim superintendent. I attended the meeting Thursday and Friday. I was there. So I do know all the logistics behind what has taken place because I was there. I was called to be there because of the fact, and I was called by, I hate to say this, a Republican to be there because they didn't know what the implications would be on our county budget. So Tana, you need to be there. And I was there. So I do know and understand all what has taken place about the school system and about what has gone on is because I was present. Again, I want to thank our citizens for helping us do the things that we do. I think we're doing a tremendous job myself. Anything that you want from us, put it in writing. If you put it in writing, we'll give you the answer. Just give it to us in writing. We will get you the answer. But remember, folks, if you keep coming every day asking the same thing and we give it to you, why is it that you're really keeping our workers from doing what they need to do? They need to be about their job. But we don't mind. We know what's a requirement. It's required that we answer your question. And I want you to know that we got an attorney who will likewise answer any question that you have, any question. And any move that this board makes, that I make, this county manager, this county attorney knows it. He's with me. I'm not gonna make that move because I know that some folks who looking out to make sure, to see if I'm gonna make a mistake. If it's about an employee, this fella knows about it. Hiring or firing. We're doing it by the law. Like it or not, it's by the law. And I'm gonna make sure it's by the law. I don't like wearing orange suits. I like to wear my black suit like I got on tonight. I don't plan to wear one. So I'm gonna make sure we follow the law. Lots of funds are coming to Northampton County. You just heard a portion of it tonight. We're gonna apply for all those funds. Every dollar. I just got one, we got one today from Crime Prevention, a $22,000 grant today. Happened with emergency, I got to sign off on it. Lots of money's coming to the county. We're asking our department heads to be alert. See when that money is coming. Social services is a fine example, telling us tonight about how these poor folks in Northampton County can pay their water bill. And I declare we got a balance over there in the water department, the department that we got to work on. We got to move our water bills, got to go up. The prices got to go up because we lost money in the water enterprise. Folks, we're doing the best we can with what we have to work with. We are open. Let us know. And we can be friends, but we don't have to agree. We can be friends. We ain't mad with, we can be friends. There's several ways for me to leave here and go to Murfreesboro. Don't be upset because I decide I want to go through Marcusville. Don't be upset because you decide that you want to go through Conway. Don't be upset because you decide you want to go through Woodland. With several ways, and all of them will get you to where you need to go. We can do it. Michael Ray, you said it right. Excuse me for using your name, Representative Ray. When we work together, we can get things done. Our record, the record that we have as commissioners, is a record of doing outstanding things. Never have it ever been that we had this kind of money coming to Northampton County, and it just didn't come. It came because of our relationship with people. Just didn't come. It came because of our relationship. Everybody in Raleigh knows me. I make myself known. I go to Michael Ray office, I go every door. I'm Charles Town from Northampton County, I need some money. Just that simple. I don't make no money. Am I right, Mike? I knock on it. I'm from North Anthony County. We poor and we need some money. We got the third highest tax rate in the state. We got to bring down the taxes. 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 Like me or not, I'm here to do a job. Just here to do what I know is best to be done. I love all of it, hate nobody, but I gotta do what's got to be done. When we find a county manager, of course, it'll be announced. Send someone. There's 5 counties right now that's without a county manager. 5 right now. One of them, one of the largest ones down in this area, Pitt County. 5 counties right in this area, Chatham County. They're looking for a county manager. You find one, send them. I thank Bob for working with me. Experience. Anytime we need him, he's right here. You aren't telling me what we need to get done. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it because I didn't know. I'm on the learning curve. Thank you for all that you're doing. Despite what anybody else said in here, thank you for helping us to get where we are. We would not be where we are if it had not been for you. And we are praying likewise for your wife. Praying for your wife. She's ill and we're praying. And we thank you for taking time out every day, whenever you can, to come and do the things that we do. Board members, I'll entertain a motion now. We'll adjourn this meeting. We'll go into closed session.
Chairman Tanner, I make a motion that we adjourn our meeting tonight and enter into closed session regarding GS 143-318-11A6 personnel, A3 attorney-client privilege, A4 EDC reporting.
Been moved and properly second. We go into closed session according to the statute she just read. And no question, no discussion. All in favor said aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, to
Going
go
into
into
closed session.
It's to go into closed session, Mr.